Hello, this is our second maths video today. The first one was extremely long. I'm not sure why. This one will be very, very short, and then hopefully they'll balance out. Anyway, we got some area, we got some perimeter, and at the end we've got a slightly more tricky one involving a circle. So if you want to skip to the end because you understand everything else, fine with me. Anyway, Lucia, well, first of all, we'll start with our formula queen. Formula for area, we already know it.
Length times breadth.
Length times breadth. So, Lucia, we've got a length of 12, we've got a breadth of 9. Total area would be 108. Pop the end on. Perfect. Well done, Lucia. Perimeter, we know we've got 12, we've got 9. Do you want me to write the other two on, or are you going to do it from 12 and 9? Alright, so what would our perimeter be? 42 centimetres, sounding good. Did you just times those together and then, add those together and then double it? Yeah? Perfect. Hopefully you got all that. Next, most people have got the hang of it. We'll do this one really, really quickly, but I'm hoping you can do these at home. The ones I've seen you doing look pretty good. We'll do one, we're not going to do the other ones. Noah, down or across?
Down.
Down. Okay, well we can immediately do 4 times 7, giving us 28. What you mustn't do is 4 times 10, because 10 includes this bit, and we've used that bit, so that's absolutely no good to us. We can use the 4. We need to know this bit that stops there. So let's get Charlie in at the back. Charles, we know the whole line is 10.
6.
Yeah, we know 4 of them are here, which means 4 of them are here as well.
Or 6 meters.
So it can only be 6 meters, yeah? All right, so we got 6 times 4 giving us our area in here. What's that, Charlie?
24.
24, so we got 28, 24. Find the total, which is what was Dennis?
52 centimeters squared.
52 centimeters squared gives us our first one. So when you're doing that at home, your numbers will be slightly different. The technique will be exactly the same. We need to do the perimeter. Hopefully we've got measurements pretty much everywhere, but not quite. Let's just check. That's got a measurement, that has, that has, that has. This bit here has no measurement. It's a height one, so we look for height ones. We've got a 7, we've got a 4, we've got a gap. Izzy, what must that gap be worth?
3.
3, because 4 and 3 gets us 7. 3 meters, yeah? Adding up round the outside, we've got 4, 3, 6, 4, 10, and last but not least, 7. Add them all up, you got your perimeter. We're not doing that now because I think you can add numbers up at home. There's another one. We won't do that one because I'm hoping you've got the hang of it. If not, watch the first one again. More? Easy, but we'll go through it just to make sure that you're not making a crazy mistake. I know Cooper's really good at these. So Coop, we got 5 centimeters, we got 8 centimeters. We know our formula is?
Length times breadth.
Perfect. Coop, we do 8 times 5 and we get?
40.
40 centimeters squared.
Well, that's for like, so you have to like double the 5.
Say that again, Coop, because I need the area for this rectangle. It can't be 40 because that includes.
Oh, it's 20.
It's 20, isn't it? 40 includes all of this, which we don't want. We've cut the area in half, so we cut our answer in half. 20 centimeters squared. Thank you, Coops. Hopefully that will make sense as well. We're trying to get to the circle because that's where the new thing is. We'll do this one because these are a little bit more complicated. Lucia, shall we split down or across?
Down.
Down's probably easier because we're going to have to split it down here. So we might as well split it down here. And now we're just looking for whole rectangles and numbers. We've got a 5. We've got a 7. So to find our first area, Izzy, what's 5 times 7?
35.
Nice, easy one. 35 centimeters squared going in there. Now we have to think a little bit more. I haven't got any of the numbers I need. So either this line here or this line here. It doesn't matter which one because they're the same. I'm looking for up measurements. I've got a 7. And, oh, have I got another up measurement? I have. I've got a 2 here. Right, so Izzy, what must this be worth? 5, yeah? We've got to get to 7. 2 of them are here. 5 of them must be left here. So now we're getting somewhere. We've got a 5 measurement here. We've got a 5 measurement here. Lucia, 5 times 5. 25 in this rectangle. We are getting there. So far we've got a 35 and a 25. Looking good. Now it gets tricky. Mr. Dennis, help us out please. I need to know this line.
So, the other line or the bottom?
I need to know this line, just this straight line. The up line. 5. That one was 5, this one is 5. Now a bit more difficult, so hopefully we're thinking, this is 12, all the way. This is 5. This is 5. This bit is a mystery, or is it? What must it be, Noah?
It must be, so the bottom one is 12.
Yep.
So 5, so it must be 2.
It must be 2. We've got a total of 12, 5, 5, sticky out part here. Must be 2. Now at this point we can still muck it up. We've got a height of 5. We've got a length of 2. Careful. What will the area be?
It will be, so basically, stupid people will do 5 times 2.
Right, well we need to do 5 times 2 and then we need to think.
But because it's like a triangle shape, that's like for the rest of it.
Okay.
So we need to halve it because it's a triangle.
Perfect. Outstanding. Coop's exactly right. He's done his 5 times 2. He's got 10. He's realised it's a triangle. We don't want the extra measurement. We divide 10 by 2. We half it. We end up with 5. Mr. Burgoyne, happy birthday. Total area, please.
65.
65, and we're working in centimetres squared. We can't do the perimeter because we don't know what this slope is. We could work it out with a really tricky bit of maths, but we won't. So hopefully that one makes sense. If it doesn't, skip back, watch that again. Same, but we're going to leave it. We're going to leave it. We're going to do it because I know Coop's so good at these. It's a shame to not get him back in on the action. Area's 30, Coop. Give me a potential length and breadth. Remember,
10 and 6.
10 and 6 is a triangle, right?
Or 60 and 1 or 30 and 2.
Wow, he's doing them all. So as long as it multiplies to double this number, we're good. It's a triangle. We half the area, right? Hopefully you've got that message now. Triangles, you always half the area. So working backwards, you have to double what you're trying to get to. If you're confused, length is 10, breadth is 6, 10 times 6 is 60. We're aiming for 30. Got to cut half off. Cut half off that too. Cooper's right. And now, hopefully, a new thing. Relax, I know you're very excited about the new thing. Circle. Here we go. We've got R, D, K, A. Or if you prefer, let's put the pressure on. Mr. Dennis. R stands for radius. D stands for diameter. C stands for can't remember. And A stands for area. So on a circle we've got radius, diameter, can't remember, and area. We'll do them all. Mr. Dennis, for our radius we start in the centre and it's usually given. So it is this measurement. Radius is 4 or 4 centimetres. Izzy can do the diameter. Izzy, diameter is 8, yeah, because it's double the radius. The diameter goes all the way across. Yeah? Okay, is that like one of those Pokemon catchy things where you chuck it and it soaks up? It's a Pokemon soaker-upper. If that helps you remember it, the Pokemon sucker-upper. Is it really called a sucker-upper?
No.
Has it got a name?
Pokeball.
Pokeball is good enough for me. So on our Pokeball all the way across we've got 4 and another 4 there. Diameter is 8 centimetres. Can't remember. Doesn't matter, Charlie can remember apparently. Charlie. Circumference. Right, to do the circumference we need some magic maths created a long time ago. Mr. Burgoyne, can you remember the magic thing? Pi. Okay. Pi. This thing. Not like apple pie, cherry pie, turkey pie. Do you get turkey pie? No. Ham pie, crisp pie, any other pie. No, this pie. All right, Greek letter pi, spell pi, no E. All right, pi is a number. Well, kind of, it's sort of a letter, but it's also a number, which is
3.142.
3.142. If you're really clever at home, you'll be watching this thinking, well, actually, pi is not 3.142, it's 3.142, blah, 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 blah. It goes on forever, but we're going to use 3.142. No, we're not. We're not going to use 3.142. We're going to use 3. We can use 3.14 if we're flash. We use 3 today because we're just getting started, right? So pi is going to equal 3. And I'll tell you why in a moment. But to find out our circumference or our can't remember, we need the diameter, which is 8. Dead important. How do we do it?
You do 8 times 3, which is 24.
We do 8 times 3. Or if you're flashy, we do pi d. That looks good, doesn't it? That's like clever person's maths. No numbers. Pi d. Pi we said was 3. D we said was 8. We don't write it as 38. We have to drop the times in. Here we didn't bother because mathematicians are lazy dudes. We got 3 times 8, giving us a circumference of 24 centimeters, not squared. All right. This is where pi comes from. Ages ago, someone really clever worked out if you take a bit of string and you lay it across your circle in the center, you get the diameter. If you take the same bit of string and lay it around the outside of the circle, it will fit just over 3 times on any circle ever in the world. So it will fit like once, like twice, like 3 times, and it will fit actually 3.142 times, or 3.142 and a lot of extra decimals times. That's why we use pi, right? It's about 3 times the diameter to get around the circumference, and it's also got another magic power which we're about to do now. It's all getting a bit scrappy, but I reckon we'll just carry on with the scrappy mess. Mr. Dennis, now this is tricky, we need the area.
Yeah. You do 4 times 4 squared, and you need to remember the word bid mass.
We need to remember the word bid, but Mr. Dennis is very, very big on the word bid mass. Right, I'm going to clear a little bit of space over here, which hopefully you'll be able to see at home. To do our area of the circle, so all our inside of this circle, okay? All of this, hang on. All of this, there we go. We're going to use pi, we're going to use the radius, and we're going to use squared. Pi r squared, which also looks like clever dudes maths. It's easy. Pi we know, or we're going to say, is 3. We're going to times it by the radius, which we know is 4. We're going to square it, which we know is a little 2. And now Mr. Dennis will absolutely freak out if you don't use bid mass. Bid mass. And here he goes. It's Mr. Dennis's time to shine. The shining hour. Mr. Dennis, do we have any brackets?
No.
No, we forget the B. No brackets. Do we have any indices?
Yes.
Yes, we got one. Where is it?
The square.
The square number is an index, or an indice if you have lots of them. Square number, right? We got 4 squared. We do this first. What is 4 squared? 16. So now we have 3, that's pi, times 16. We have done our radius squared. Do we have any divisions?
No.
Do we have any multiplications? Yes. So now we do 3 times 16, which is 48. And back over here, we get 48 centimeters squared. It's not perfect because we use pi as 3 and not 3.14 or 3.142, but it's good enough. So we got our radius, we got our diameter, we got our circumference, or I can't remember, and we got our area. And at that point, I'm going to leave you with that. If you haven't got the circle one in your pack, which I don't think you have, you can easily make your own up. All you need to give yourself is a radius and then play with the other 3 measurements. Anyway, as usual, it's goodbye from them.
Bye!